Alright, what's up guys? This is your unholy boy, Killian Jenkins again. And this is just gonna be a quickie because there are some major changes that you guys are bound to hear if you don't know. And which is basically, if you check out this talent, my PvP talents, you'll notice something odd. Can you find it? So the thing is that Necrotic Strike is not worth it anymore because it doesn't scale up with attack power anymore, and with all the stat squish and just how strong Scar Strike is right now, it's safe to assume that this is what you'll be playing for a while. Maybe when we progress further through the expansion, the patches at like 9.2, maybe it will come back. I really like Necrotic Strike, but Scar Strike is simply just more powerful and just more effective in general. So okay, I'm gonna start over with the talents now. Here it's basically, since you're at the level 15 row, you're basically gonna want to play with I think any of them can be used here. They're all pretty viable. Clawing Shadows versus Mage, Hunter, and let's see, or any kind of class that kites you a lot with high mobility. You can roll with that. And then Infected Claws. When it comes to this one, I guess it's best versus targets that are gonna stand still, and would be neat versus Holy Paladins or something when it comes to the enemy heals. So you can just let your pet sit on it for a while, and then you can start popping off your festering wounds on it. When you want to make a swap for, let's say, when the paladin uses ultimate sack, then that's where you're gonna have to want to swap. So yeah, and all will serve is basically just a flat out increase in DPS. I don't think that needs further explanation here. And as for the 25 row, your playstyle, this really depends on your playstyle. Unholy Blight is pretty good too, no doubt. It's basically that you keep infecting people inside an area, and it can be good to maintain uptime. And your minions have increased 3% damage, so that can go a long way, especially with Army of the Damned, Magus of the Dead and stuff. And let's go Ebon Fever. As for Ebon Fever, I think this might be the weakest one at this tier, because it's basically, it increases your dot damage, but at the same time you gotta keep pressing it. So you gotta keep pressing it because the duration has been reduced, and with the overabundance of GCD, I don't think you'll feel great pressing it all the time. And personally, I like running Bursting Swords here, because Bursting Swords pretty much increases the damage of your Scar Strike when you pop the festering wound. And so yeah, that's it for this row. And as for the level 30 tier, when it comes to PvP, of course you're gonna run with Asphyxiate. I don't think this needs to have more explanation here, because it's pretty straightforward. This is the only major CC you have, so you're gonna have to want to take it. Okay, as for the 35 tier, this is pretty debatable, because as of now I've been playing the beta and pre-patch a lot, which means I have tested it around, and so far what I have found is that Harbinger of Doom or Pestilent Pustules is more worth it at this point, since this is the pre-patch now, so we don't have this Apocalypse rank tree, which is basically the old Soul Reaper, the rune generator. It's not there, so you're gonna have to. The Soul Reaper used to generate 2 runes, and the effect has been moved there to save GCD, I guess. And the Execute is not worth it as of now, because you're gonna have a hard time popping it, and it feels so not rewarding as of now. Since it takes like 5 seconds to pop it off, and the burst isn't that big at all like it used to be. So basically, you can either play with Harbinger of Doom or Pestilent Pustules in the pre-patch for now, as you straight up just need more energy. You basically just need more rune resource generators. So yeah, it's pretty debatable, but I personally like Harbinger of Doom more. And as for the level 40 talent, I guess it's safe to say that all of them are viable. It depends on what you're gonna face. Let's say if it's mage or some kind of caster teams, of course it's definitely gonna be Spell Eater versus warriors, rogues. Perhaps it's gonna be Wraithwalk, because you're just gonna have use of that more extra mobility. So when it comes to Death Pack, this is pretty situational. I personally don't recommend it, but you can play it versus classes like let's say Windwalker monks, perhaps, with their touch of that and stuff, since your health is just gonna drastically drop in a few seconds. In order to sustain for that, you can use it. Or versus bursty classes like Red Paladins, maybe. It pretty much depends upon you. I personally just like running Spell Eater most of the time, circling between Spell Eater and Wraithwalk. And we go to the 45th row, and it's no debate that Unholy Pact is the best, because this Hell Chains effect is pretty much what you're gonna need and gonna help you a lot. It increases our strength by 5% as well, which is really welcome. Alright, as for the level 50 talent, it's pretty debatable. I guess it kind of depends upon you, but personally I like running with Army of the Damned. It gives me good pressure throughout the games, throughout the matches, since Dead Coil reduces the Apocalypse and A-Bomb cooldown by some seconds, and especially if you pair it with Necromancer's Bargain, it's really effective in maintaining good uptime and a more sustained pressure throughout the game. And Summon Gargoyle, I personally don't play Summon Gargoyle, but it's good versus classes that doesn't have much mobility and can just take it through, because it's easy to kite. The Gargoyle is really easy to kite, but when you manage to pull it off, it's pretty powerful. So that's where it lies. Unholy Assault, and as for Unholy Assault, it depends upon you as well. So you basically now press a button and it immediately gives you 4 Festering Wounds, which means you can just press it and then immediately follow up with an Apocalypse. But like I said, as of now, I prefer Army of the Damned the most here, as I keep having more luck with it and I just enjoy the overall pressure of it. So, and I think that's about it. Let's wrap this up. So the reason I wanted to make it was basically to tell you that Necrotic Strike is not worth it anymore as of now, even on the beta, when Shadowlands actually hits up. So when Shadowlands actually drops, so I wanted to address it. So I wanted to address it to you guys, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up so you don't end up underperforming versus anyone. So yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna do it for the video, and I appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for supporting me as always. Thanks for the new subscribers that I've gathered in the recent days. I appreciate you. And this is your unholy boy Killian Jenkins signing off. Take care and have a good one. Peace.